Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank y'all for starting your morning with me. I was trying to make sure all my setup and stuff was good, and I know I'm a few minutes late, but I didn't think I was gonna make it. I know I was like, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do this again next week. I'm gonna make it work. But if you want to do something, oh, I'm sorry, if you want something different, you have to do something different. So this is not like one of those special videos where it's a tutorial. This is me actually sharing my story. Um, for the Monday motivation. It's history part one. And like I said, it's just pretty much giving you a background of myself. I'm sorry, like my internet. Okay, so moving forward, why I'm giving y'all my story. Number one, my following is very large on this page. I just got my page back last Wednesday and I was super excited. Um, I want to be able to reach my audience, like my audience, my organic audience. I didn't pay for any likes. In one of the other videos, oh no, actually, I think it was my first live video. I had explained how my following came about. So to explain how I'm moving and why I am reaching the audience that I am is more for people that's like a similar background. So you can 86 the maybes and the probablys, or she did this, or probably came from here, or she probably had a handout. No, this is real. I'm organic, not paid for, transparent, all of that. So my first live talking about braids by a little bit, before there was braids by a little bit, before there was braid surgeon. I can take it back to 1995. That much I know I can give you of a true fact. In 1995, I was in the third grade. Let's see, I have three other siblings by my mom. My parents were divorced. I didn't have many friends. I mainly resided with my mother. We wasn't always as close, but I love that woman to the moon and back. I've been chasing a relationship with my mom for the longest. Um, and I still am, believe it or not, I still am. My mom did hair, my dad did hair. I don't know if I said it or not, but I didn't have many friends. So I know for a fact that I just learned this year that that is my brand. It was loneliness and probably low self-esteem. Um, let's see, like I said, back in 95 in the third grade, that's when I learned how to braid. My mom showed me how to braid on a Barbie doll's head, like the little bitty head, like the little bitty head. It was a plait. She showed me how to plait on a Barbie head. I remember like the trailer. I remember the trailer was. It was, of course, well, back then a lot of trailers were a shotgun. I don't know pretty much how they are now, but straight in the door there's living room, kitchen. My room was on the end, and then back in the living room, bathroom, and then her room. So just sitting in the floor. And a matter of fact, I want to say it was, I don't know why I feel like it was around Christmas time. Just this one particular trailer home, I remember a lot of good and a lot of bad just right there. But anyhow, so I learned how to braid on this doll, Barbie, and with that plait, I think I asked for one of those, the doll heads that came like chest up, and that's all it was. It was one of those fashion dolls. So that plait led to that braid. So majority of my stuff was, I'm gonna say about 90% of my braiding techniques were self-taught and they were perfected over time. Moving forward to the fourth grade, things were different. Like I said, my mom and my dad was divorced. That's a lot of my childhood I don't remember, but I do recall by the fourth grade. At this point, I was already introduced to drugs. Not nothing hard, thank God, not nothing hard. Herbalife, a little bit of the Herbalife, the marijuana, however you choose to put it. I was sneaking it. I had an older brother that was, yeah, he was in that lifestyle, and it didn't, I don't know, I was just playing, I wasn't hard on it or nothing like that. It was just an introduction. And then around probably I'll say by the 5th or the 6th grade, I'm still doing hair now. I'm just, I was a tomboy, so I really didn't like any dolls that I had. It can't, it was for hair purposes. It wasn't for, hey, or Ken and Barbie. It was none of that. It was just straight like Barbie's hair done. They sit and post it on the wall, and it was that. But from the 4th to the 5th grade is when we moved out of the trailer parks and to the hood. We left the trailer to the hood, and that's when a lot of I was introduced to gangbanging, so that was different. I'm a little bitty something, so I'm like this little bitty, I'm the runt, like I'm this little bitty rah something running around thinking I can, I don't know, just I had that fierce, I had that fire under my behind, and I didn't know why. Taking it to the 6th grade. So by this time, I had started doing my own hair. I didn't do it often, but that's when I was, mama, can I do my own hair? My dad, like I said, my mom and my dad did hair, and I think maybe toward the end of 6th grade, I had a little length on it. My daddy gave these 5 shampoos and these 5 body wraps. I don't remember many styles my mom did on me, but my dad, I'm talking about them hands, the shampoos, the body wraps, that was that. So from the 6th grade, like I said, by this time, I had been introduced to drugs. I was a big No Limit fan. I remember getting in trouble for clothes I wore. We had to wear uniforms, and it was the shoes. It was a particular color, and my teacher called my mom, and I'm like, what? So, yeah, by this time, we ended up moving to Las Vegas. So a Southern girl, all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, a 2-day drive to Vegas. It was different. Like I said, I was this little bitty person with a Southern accent. I stuck out like a sore thumb. And at that point, I began to gain friends. I'm assuming because I was different. And not to say that I ain't had no friends at all. It's just that, cliques. That's then, now, tomorrow. That's always going to be like that. You either got a group of 2, a group of 3, a group of 10, however the case may be. It was different when I moved to Vegas. So let's see, I played the field from wanting to be in Vegas to be back with my dad. I played it so much. We lost our trailer. Somebody stole our old trailer. I got homesick. I was ready to come home. It was boring. I couldn't do nothing. Things was looking dear. It was and I swear by the grace of God, that I didn't like the move, but the move had to been good for me, because the area that we had moved in probably would have took my life into a whole nother direction. Let's see, 7th grade, I was for sure doing my own hair. I was definitely doing my own hair. I really wasn't, moving back and forth. I went from moved up to the Jeffersons, from the hood to like this high sedity place. We lived in Henderson. I went to Greenspun. I can't remember the other school. I know I went to Greenspun. But anyhow, moving forward, let's see. 7th, I was doing my own hair. 8th grade, I guess it was like a struggle between back and forth, going to stay with my mom, going to stay with my dad. Vegas, Little Rock to Vegas, Vegas to Little Rock. Eventually, my mom moved to Texas when I was in the 9th grade. She told me, was like, yeah, it's okay, we're gonna go to Texas, yay. Dallas, let's go to Dallas. No, we moved to Jasper, a small town. You gotta be kidding me. What am I gonna do in Jasper, Texas? It was crazy. But that's where like the hustle, the real hustle began. I had some notes. But yeah, so the hustle for the 9th grade, the guys from class, from school, I would do that here on the weekends. And it was crazy because Jasper didn't allow the football or the basketball players to wear braids in season. I never understood that. It's like a perception. You would rather them be on the field representing the school with their hair all over their head versus their braids being to the back of their head. That right there is something that stood out to me. So mind y'all, I told you earlier, I had low self-esteem. That didn't make sense to me. So that I know that that's something that stuck out to me. Didn't stay in Texas long. Of course, I came back home to stay with my dad, and the hustle still, it grew. Lunch hour, study hall, they already came to Little Rock wasn't no problem. They could wear their braids whenever, however, whenever with the school. They came to the schoolhouse with their hair in a big fro, shampoo, ready to go. And I know I at least did at least one or two heads in the daytime in a school, like in a school hour. Like if I did a different style, it took a little longer. I didn't really miss class. So that was something that was interesting. I stayed in the bleachers doing hair while others probably was in the bleachers doing stuff they ain't got no business. But we're gonna move forward. Let's see. Again, moving back and forth, Jasper. From the school, my clientele grew to some of the adults. I think I started really indulging in doing women at this point, girls, like weave. Back to Little Rock in the 11th grade, I did cosmetology school. There's a school called Metro, and whatever it was. So it was crazy because in Jasper, Texas, their schools, the first part of the semester, I ended up leaving in the middle of the semester. So I had already had all of my credits when I came back to Little Rock. So my schedule was messed up. My credits was already done for the year. They was already accepted. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? And I ended up going to cosmetology school. Like I said, the Votech, I would go in the mornings and I pretty much like had the rest of the day off. Like my schedule consisted of probably 2 main classes and the rest were electives. That year I actually enlisted in the military. So as a child, I thought that I never had that white picket fence. I want to get married, had this many kids, and live this lavish life. No, it was, my goals was either I was going to do hair, I was going to do the military, which was, I don't know, it's crazy, but fun fact, was inspired by the No Limit. Like, it's crazy. I got on fatigue right now, but fatigue, I don't know what it was about the fatigue. I even had like the big medallion. I swear it was like an honorary member. But anyhow, so I wanted to do hair, you have to be a lawyer, something in the medical field, or go to the military. Well, the lawyer situation, I knew school wasn't for me at that point. That was just throughout the years. And I was looking at the lawyer aspect from the money, thinking that they made a lot of money. The medical field, it came along the way, even after high school. I'm actually currently in school, but we'll talk about that later. Just I'll do something in the medical field. And of course it started at the bottom. I never was a CNA, but I was like, okay, well, maybe I could be a CNA or something from there. I just always wanted to help people. Back to the military, when I enlisted in my junior year, my recruiter was like, enjoy your friends this year, and this will be the last summer. Next summer, you'll be off to training. Well, that didn't happen. I think I might have took another trip to Jasper somehow between them, somewhere around there, because I wanted to play softball. So I'm really trying to tie in some of my soul searching with this story. It was a very small racist town, and I didn't know nothing. I wanted to do something different, and that was my different when I went to Texas to do softball. It didn't happen. I ain't know nothing about it. So that kind of hurt me a little bit. Come back, I did go to, so when I came back, I wanted to try out again at the school I went to, my high school. So I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, 12th grade, getting ready to graduate. Mind y'all, I'm in the military. It's 12th grade. No sports, just hair. Probably, I think I worked at Kroger. I worked at Kroger. It was crazy. Um, the hair never stopped. Wobbled across the stage. That is the history, like, of my school life, and just to show you, just from my beginnings, my humble beginnings. Just a little bit about my family background real quick. Like I said, I had 3 other siblings. I do remember, probably, like I said, around the third, something about the 1995, that year was a year that a lot of stuff clicked in place. Like, that's when me and my best friend became best friends. It's tatted. We got like these matching tattoos, established in 1995. I think my big brother had came, one of my oldest big brother had came home from the military in the Navy. I remember going to go and see him. He came home. I was afraid of him. I'm like, I don't know you, like, but he was cool. That was my big brother. The brother up under him, which is the one that was the wild child. He was the one that was gang banging, and I ended up following under his wing. Even though I had a sister, my mother had another daughter. We didn't see eye to eye. We were actually from 2 different hometowns. A majority of her family, or the other side of the family, was from Dumas, Arkansas. So that's the country town. I guess you can look at Little Rock as a city, Dumas as the country, or whatever the case may be. So we didn't, as much as I wanted to be up under this lady, it just didn't happen that way. Like, maybe that'll come out too, I don't know. But even like me and my best friend, we talked about that. So here it is. You got this young girl that I guess, like I said, I had moved from the 6th grade to Vegas. That was just, the grace of God. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the thing that we were supposed to do. My best friend, so she was a tomboy. We was like, we would never have kids. We was going to do X, Y, Z, but it was literally based off the negative. And those were the life chances that we thought that we had, but there was definitely a greater outcome for us. So I don't want to really move too far into that. This is definitely part 1. I wanted to talk about the history. Me and my sister wasn't the best of friends. I've been chasing a relationship with my mom. I got up under one of my big brothers. So my hustle, that's where my hustle came from. My hustle came from my brother. Like, I give him that. He gave me the game. I took the game and I ran with it. It's just what direction I ran with the game. But that's part 1. So the moral of this story, no matter where you come from, what area you live in, it's got to come from within. But you got to be able to do the soul search on why you're doing what you're doing. So my brand, me doing hair, I saw my parents do it. I like the way it made me feel. My loneliness, my low self-esteem, all of that ties into that profession, into doing hair, because you're allowed to make people feel good. And you also, while you're doing that, you're making yourself feel good. Now, I can't speak for y'all, but I know when I go to the shop, that's my passion. That's my opiate, that going to the shop. Of course, the money is the motivation, but I can't remember who said that. It was a quote, but if you do something that you like, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's just what it is. My career ended up being here, not the military. I didn't last long in the military. I think I ended up getting out like 2 or 3 years later. Actually, I think I had another child. I had a whole nother child. They asked, we was getting ready to go to war. No, I'm gonna go home. Like I said, the lawyer didn't want to go to school, medical field. I'm currently in and out of the medical field. Leaving that there. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. That's part 1. I think I'll pick up again tomorrow. I'm not sure tomorrow is when I'm going to introduce my avatar, when I'm going to actually reach out and try to pull some young ladies or gents that was like me, that I'm gonna give y'all more of my adult life, and how my hair industry played a big role in that life. It's early. and I did good. I really I didn't want to go past 10, 15 minutes, but 6:22 my time. Started at 6:01 to 02:03, somewhere like that. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I won't be back in the shop till Thursday unless I do like a tutorial or something on my mannequin. But again, thank y'all. Love y'all. If you're not faded, you should definitely be braided.